Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dad, Coffee, and Kids podcast, where caffeine-powered dads look to level up as fathers. We talk about life as a dad with young kids while managing work, family, and finances. That said, grab another cup, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode here. Really excited to talk to you about a topic today that's kind of been burning in my mind for a few weeks now, and I really wanted to get on here and discuss and not really vent, but just share my experience, and hopefully it helps you, and hopefully it helps our kids as well. So there's a decision I made, and this single decision single-handedly allowed me to spend more time with my kids. Now, as I share what it is, I'm going to make a very bold statement, and then I'll kind of backdoor into it and the reasoning behind it, and how exactly I implemented it, what I learned, and how you can do something very similar. So the bold statement I'm going to share is, and how to spend more time with your kids, is to delete all of your social media apps from your phone. Let that sink in for a second. Delete all of your social media apps from your phone. Now, in today's day and age, that might sound crazy. Like the news, our friends, local events, national events, everything happens on social media today, unfortunately, but it's true. What I did is, you don't have to necessarily delete social media, but you get rid of a lot of the distractions in life, being social media, from your phone. Because if there's one thing that we constantly have on us, even more than our kids, right? Our kids are sometimes at daycare with other family members. They're not with us 24/7, but our phones are. And if you're on social media most of that time, which I know some of us probably are, then your mind is in a million different places at any given time. And how can you possibly concentrate on one or two tasks, let alone on your kids, right? So you don't need to be as extreme as literally deleting all of your accounts. Let me share my story, what I did, and again, how you can make steps to do something similar, okay? So a little while back, I'm going to say probably 2 years, my iPhone was due for an upgrade. And like everyone else, I had all of my social media apps on my phone, right? And we have Verizon. Verizon was running some deal or some special where I did not have to trade my phone in, okay? So I got a new phone, decent price, did not have to trade my existing phone in. So I kept it. I think most people would either sell it or shut it off, power it down, let it die, and shove it in a drawer and save it for either a rainy day or maybe plan your kids to have it someday. I don't know. Like it's a car, you know, it's a cool present when they turn 16, or in today's age, 11, which we could talk about at a later date. I think kids are being exposed to iPhones too early. But either way, what I did was I kept it in good condition, put it on airplane mode, and flipped the Wi-Fi on. And I just used it as a second phone. I used it for work. I had, at the time, I had a lot of apps that my work could be utilized through. So I kept that in a spare room if I ever had to run to the room or anything like that. But as time went on, I grew, you could say, angry. I started to get pretty just upset all the time with really myself, and angry just at little things around me. And I realized it all came back because I was just spending too much time on social media. And I was researching things, topics that, just normal topics. Like for example, I would go on Twitter and look up some current events, news. FinTwit was a huge thing. I'd go on and look at stocks and stuff like that. And I would just always end up down this rabbit hole, right? And it did not leave me in a better place from where I started. So again, this is around the time it was getting to its height when I got my new phone. And I decided, I was like, you know what? I have all my social media apps on this phone. Why don't I delete a few of the big ones from my new phone? Got rid of X, got rid of Instagram. It really started out as those two. That's where I was spending the most time on. And things were great. And as time went on, I deleted another one and another one. I deleted Facebook. What else was there? TikTok. I didn't really use TikTok, but I got rid of that and a few others. The only social media app, I have two on my current phone today, and that's Messenger for, obviously just messaging people. So I have a lot of, whether we're traveling or our friends or family traveling, can stay in touch that way, as well as quick video calls, and then also Reddit. I do have Reddit on my phone, full disclosure. But I try to spend minimal time on it. I even set up time limits, which is something I'll talk about later. But so I went ahead and got rid of all the social media apps on my phone. And really what that did was it eliminated all of those distractions from my life. Because how many of you can relate where you get a notification? All right, let's say you get a Facebook notification or Instagram, and it says so-and-so shared a post. You click it, you read it, you like it, you comment, whatever. But you don't just close the phone and go back to what you're doing. You probably stay on and start scrolling, right? These algos are unbelievable to showing you material that you're interested in and keeping you sucked in. So now your quick notification check turns into a minute, 5 minutes, 10, 20 minutes. And you're like, what the hell am I doing? I need to get back to doing the previous task. And so this was at a time where I started freeing up a lot of time that was associated towards staring at my phone. And again, as my oldest got older, he's 3.5 now, and my youngest came along, it allowed me to be way more present with them. Okay? Let me paint a little picture. How many times as fathers have we been in the living room, in a playroom with our kids, with every intention to play, right? Like that. Studies have shown that free play is the best thing for kids. It enhances their creativity, their trust, their bond with you. It's unmatched to anything else, right? So how many times do we go into a situation or an area where we plan on playing with our kids? And the example I gave before, where we get a notification or we just want to check our phones, turns into us sitting on the couch, opening the app, and then one quick read turns into scrolling, and now we're on our phone for 20, 25, 30 minutes, and before we know it, our time with our kids is up, or kids start complaining, or worse yet, they're saying, "Daddy, Daddy." They're trying to get your attention, but you're not answering, right? Maybe you never thought of this, but looking back, I'm sure it resonates that this has happened, okay? And that's what deleting social media apps from your phone allows you to avoid, and being more present. That's just one example of many that can happen where not having these distractions is going to help you as a father, okay? Now, not everyone's in a situation where they can get a second phone or they don't have to trade in their old phone, but there are steps that you can take to achieve similar results and avoid and eliminate those distractions from your life. Okay. First, what you can do is you can I briefly hit on this earlier. You can use time limits on for these individual apps in your settings. I have an iPhone. I'm sure Android has the same feature. Go into settings. There should be a time limits area, and you can break down each individual app for how long you want to spend a day. Okay. Even on my second phone that I call my social media phone, I have time limits on it too. So I think for X, I have like 15 minutes because that's where I have been known to go down the biggest freaking rabbit holes. Okay. So 15-minute limit on that. I try really hard if I hit it not to click that ignore button. So when I hit my time limit, I'm done for the day. Okay. Another one is uninstall some apps like Facebook and Twitter, or formerly Twitter, now X. Uninstall them from your phone and only access them from a desktop or laptop or iPad. Okay, so what that does is any urge you have to check your whatever your likes, your posts, or whatever you shared on X, you won't be able to until you're home, kids are in bed, you have a break at work, and you can check on your desktop or iPad. Okay, it eliminates the ability to immediately instant gratification, get it in that point in time. Okay, that one's huge actually, because you can pretty much do that with all. I get it if you come back to me and say, I can't do that with Instagram. I can't log in on my computer. I mean, you could, but that's one. Obviously, it's better on phones. But either way, if you're cool with it, I'd be super happy to hear if people went and only accessed all of their social media accounts via desktop, again, or laptop or iPad versus their phone. And then lastly, and this is so simple, it's kind of silly, but I find it the most effective. And again, I implement this as well, in addition to having a second phone and using time limits. Simply leave your phone in another room. So if you're going to play with your kids, or it's dinner time, or anything along those lines, put your phone in a different room. You don't need it on you. All right? Your work messages, your work emails can wait. Any notifications from social media can 100% wait. And if you're worried about an emergency or your boss might call, put your phone on ringer. Put it as loud as it can go. But leave it in your other room. Okay? The purpose of this isn't to stop you from doing your day job or being there for someone who needs you. The purpose of this is so that you don't go on social media. Okay? By the way, I'm on my third cup of coffee today. I might have one more in me. I try to stay to 3 to 4 a day. But yeah, that sip was good. But so those are the three things you can really work on to implement spending less time on social media and even deleting social media from your phone. Use the time limits, right? Uninstall apps on your phone and only access them via desktop, laptop, or iPad. And then lastly, and most importantly, you can start doing this right now, is leave your phone in another room when you are spending time with your kids and your wife. Okay? Last thing I wanted to cover too is this whole concept, and you've probably heard it before, creators versus consumers. Now, when I go on social media, I know I said I go down rabbit holes on X, and I do, guilty of it sometimes. That's why I put these precautions in place. But other than that, I really, really try extremely hard. I'm very aware. I don't scroll. Okay, I don't spend minutes, half hour, hours of my day scrolling. I really don't. I might see posts from friends and family 2 weeks after they post it, and it's only because my wife says, "Hey, did you see so-and-so's post?" No, I didn't. Let me go look. Okay? That's how I operate now. I still have all of my accounts because maybe you came across this podcast via social media. I use it as a creator. Okay? I create things. I can probably do it more than I should probably do it more than I do for, business side of it. But that's primarily how I use social media today. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a creator. You don't, unless if you are looking to start a side hustle, a business, grow a following, get a message out there, then by all means do it. If you're going to share pictures of your family, your kids, you took a vacation, you want to highlight anything in your life, then do it. Go ahead, post. But try not to be a consumer, okay? The second biggest takeaway of this, besides the steps you can take to go ahead and eliminate social media from your life and spend more time with your kids, is stop consuming. Stop consuming at the rate that you may have been consuming today, yesterday, and for the last 10 years, right? So hope this is all helpful. I've been really wanting to talk about it. I'm sure we'll have another pod, very similar topic or same topic, and share updates, or would love to hear your story. I'll leave it in the comments wherever you're viewing this this podcast, this video. And until then, I'll see you all next time.